Well, hoping for the boxing voice, I'm delighted to be here with heavyweight contender Fabio Wardley. How are you, Fabio?
I'm good. How's things with you, mate? All
Fantastic,
good?
yeah. You had a good Christmas, New Year?
Yeah, good, chilled. Nothing too crazy. Just one with the family, catching up. Obviously, the last few years have been a bit weird for everyone, so it was just nice to kind of have a more settled year, more normal, and just have everyone back together.
And still in shape by the looks of it, unlike most heavyweights.
Yeah, well, I've had about 4 or 5 weeks to kind of stay on top of things, so other than Christmas and that, have a little blowout and look after yourself and have a bit of fun. But yeah, I'm on shape, I'm on weight with everything, so it's all good.
Any news on who your opponent on the 27th is going to be?
Nothing confirmed, not yet. Just kind of along the same calibre as we've already had. Someone just good, nice solid test, someone that I can work out a few things with, just make sure everything's still working like body-wise, make sure everything holds up nicely, and then going past that, then we can really get stuck into some big ones.
And presumably you still want to get the British title if Joe Joyce ever does what he should do and vacate that belt.
Yeah, we'll see. We're like, when we're ready after this one, I think will be the time to kind of put on some pressure and stick it to him and put on some pressure with the board and say, look, what's going on here? He's had it for a while, he's not defended it or nothing. So after that, then we'll have a look at it.
But for this year, I know you want a big, busy 2022. Hopefully, this pandemic condition is sort of winding down now, so hopefully a lot of your fighters can be a lot more active. Are you looking to sort of stay around the domestic level, especially given that actually a lot of domestic level heavyweights actually are probably better than what's traditionally thought of as domestic level because it's so strong right now?
Yeah, I think there's some good names, there's some good contenders and whatever, but it just depends really. Like, I'm never on the hunt for an individual person or looking at anyone directly. I'm just looking for good fights, so as and when they appear, cool, I'm happy to take them, and I'm obviously looking for belts in that as well, so I just want to get stuck into obtaining some more silverware.
You're not looking to rush too quickly to the fringe world level?
No, I'm not looking to sprint there. I don't think there's a need. There's no real need. Like, I'm only 12 fights in. I've only been boxing as a total of about 6 odd years. Like, I haven't really been in the game long. I'm still a baby almost. So there's no need for me to rush there because once I get there, I'm there. I can't go back now. I can't fight a fringe level opponent, then come back to fighting a low level domestic opponent. That's just not doable. So we're just going to ease through and build through the stages nicely.
Mm-hmm. How regularly would you like to fight?
This year, 4 times, maybe 5, maybe a bit of a push. I don't want to just coming off the back of injury. I don't want to push my body too far, but I think 4 times this year be good. Like I say, February's nice early, getting out pretty early, so do that and then go again in maybe May time, and then the back end of summer, and then one in the winter, and then we're good.
Just ask your views on the current heavyweight scene. Apart from the guys who are at world level, a bit of a golden era for British heavyweight boxing. I don't think we've ever had sort of 4 heavyweights in the world title picture. But for the guys at the domestic level, who do you think is the best at the moment, apart from yourself, obviously?
At the domestic level, I think probably it's a difficult one to say. Like the top 3, obviously, you've got your Fury, your Dill, your AJ. Between those 3, I think it's just ready for them to kind of duke it out, and they can state that claim for themselves and say, no, it's me. Obviously, Fury would probably say, because I'm undefeated, it's me, but it depends on your resume and who you fought and who you've been in with and stuff. So I think it's kind of, over the next few years, it's ready for them to kind of make that claim themselves.
It's interesting you mentioned his resume there. A lot of critics do actually say, well, yeah, Tyson, 2 great wins, but they are just the 2 great wins.
Yeah.
So is that your view there? That his resume isn't that good?
It's hard. I'm not gonna discredit someone because their 2 great wins are great wins. So that's not to be taken away from. But also, it's not just, you can't make yourself a great fighter off just 2 great wins. There needs to be more done there. There needs to be more to a resume and more going on. So he's got time to flesh that out and fill that out a lot more, and then he can go from there.
Talking of Fury, of course, your manager, Dillian, is he still locked in talks, trying to get that fight over the line?
Yeah.
Anything you can reveal?
No, I haven't got any breaking news for you, but yeah, he's still stuck in that, much to his kind of hate. Like, that's not his thing. He hates those back and forth, the politics side, the negotiation side. All he wants to do is get stuck in and fight. But sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to play the game. You got to walk the rope, and he's doing that at the moment. And hopefully he gets his just dues out at the end of it.
What do you make of the situation with AJ? With talk of change of coach at such short notice? I mean, you know this game. Anytime a fighter loses, especially a high-profile fighter, the first thing people think is change the coach. From your experience, do you think 4 months, 5 months be enough to make significant changes to defeat such a skilled operator like
It's difficult. It's a hard one because, like you say, as soon as you lose, people do go straight to, you need a new coach. But Canelo lost, stayed with the same team, and look where he is now. So it's not necessarily. Some situations you just have to go, that was me, that was my fault. I had the right team, they gave me the right instruction, I didn't enforce it right, I didn't do it right. Sometimes it needs to be introspective instead of looking at other people and going, oh no, point the finger at you and point the finger at you. But I think with AJ, maybe a swap up is necessary. He's been with that same compact team unit for a long time. I think it's within himself to know whether he feels stagnant or not, whether he wants to switch it up, or whether he's got too complacent, too comfortable, and whether he wants to keep moving. So we'll see. But I don't think a change of team will be a bad thing for him. I think it'll be quite good. A new perspective is nice. It gives you a bit of fresh energy, and it gives you another kind of get up and go.
I mean, that is what a lot of people think that he's too comfortable up there in Sheffield. Do you think a lot of the learning is actually done in hard sparring?
Yeah, I think it is, because they're the moments. It's all like they say it 100 times over. Everyone looks great on pads. Everyone looks $1 million on pads. But the point where it matters the most is when you're in the ring. When you're sparring, your thought process almost goes out of the window. You're reacting on instincts and things you really repetition like put into your brain. So you need to make sure they work on the night. And the best way to do that is sparring.
And talking sparring, you do get about a bit around the country. Who's the best guy you've sparred with?
The most difficult I found was Alexander Usyk, just because it was so mentally draining as opposed to physically. It was just, you have to be so switched on all the time because he's constantly moving, he's constantly fighting, he's constantly working you. Whereas I sparred a lot of heavyweights, and there's little lull periods where you'll slow down and both of you will take a little rest and then you'll go again. And that's easier to work with than someone who's just on you. So probably him, yes.
It's interesting you say that, because obviously, well documented, he came from like a white collar background. Usyk's, his skills been honed over hundreds of amateur fights over years.
Yeah.
I mean, how long do you think it would take you to sort of close that gap between your level and someone like him?
It's difficult to say whether it's even closable at all. But for someone to put, there's no way to kind of understate how much time he put into the craft of boxing, and for me to think I can catch that up in maybe 5 years or whatever is probably going to take the mick out of that a bit. But all I can do is use my attributes the best I have. He's got his own, I've got my own. So all I can do is double down on those and use those to my best of my abilities and come out top on every fight I have.
Well, hopefully by the time you're at world level, Usyk will be happily in retirement or
yeah, we'll see.
Diminished him significantly. Well, Fabio, well, thanks for your time, and wish you luck on the 27th, and an exciting year ahead of you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, mate.
Thanks for speaking. Bye.
Enjoy the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.